With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 and Bethesda Temple Church invite residents, churches, businesses, and community leaders along the Crenshaw corridor to join a vitally important community conversation Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. For years now, this community has been living with unkept promises and the devastating effects of the unfinished Destination Crenshaw construction project, leaving residents, businesses, and churches to deal with myriad problems, including the loss of parking, restricted access, traffic congestion, and a lack of emergency vehicle access when it matters most. For years now, Procrastination Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local Black-owned businesses and, sadly, has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode, and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating Black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. On today is Tuesday, and we begin our show with The Price of Mercy. This week, the rapper known as Boosie Badass went public with a story that should stop us in our tracks. He says he paid two Washington operatives, Jacob Wohl and Jack Berkman, $600,000, believing they could deliver to him a presidential pardon. He said he was told it was signed, in hand, and ready to sign. He waited. It never came. Now Boosie is in arbitration, trying to claw back half his money. The White House says it never heard from the men he paid. Somewhere in that wreckage is a man who thought he was buying his freedom back and instead got a lesson in how this country now treats mercy. Because this isn't really a story about two hustlers and a rapper. It's a story about a cottage industry that's grown up around the pardon power. Lobbyists and self-styled fixers who market access to the president the way a scalper markets a concert ticket. Whether or not this one deal was legitimate, the market itself is the scandal. When forgiveness becomes something you can shop for, something with a going rate, we've crossed a line that should never have been crossable. Think about where the idea of a pardon comes from. Grace, mercy, forgiveness. These aren't American inventions. The deepest wellspring of them runs back to a carpenter's son from Nazareth who said that the debts of sinners are canceled, not sold. He didn't pass a collection plate before he forgave anyone. He forgave freely to people with nothing to offer in return because that was the point. Mercy that has to be earned isn't mercy. Mercy that has to be bought isn't mercy either. It's a transaction wearing the mask of compassion. So when access to a pardon can apparently be pitched for over dinner and priced at $600,000, something has rotted at the foundation of what pardon is supposed to mean. It was built as a release valve for justice. A way to say the system got this wrong or mercy matters more than punishment right now. It was never supposed to be a product line and ask whoever loses in a system like that, not the person with the $600,000, but everyone. Here's a number worth sitting with. Kiplinger, a personal finance magazine, not a political outlet, reported that more than 77 million Americans, about 1 in every 3 adults, carry some kind of criminal record, and they need one of these pardons. Nearly half of us had an immediate family member locked up. Most have already done their time. Most are just trying to get a job or pass a background check. Many would qualify on paper for a pardon or clemency. Almost none of the $600,000 for a lobbyist with a rumored line to the Oval Office do any of these people have access to. That same Kiplinger piece pointed to one thing else: early release scams, where desperate families already drowning in legal fees and commissary costs get preyed on by people promising a loved one early. They just pay the right person. Sound familiar? It's the same con in a cheaper suit. The famous get scammed by lobbyists with White House connections. Everyone else gets scammed by the same impulse at a smaller price point with the same broken heart at the end. I don't know exactly what happened between Boosie Badass and the men he paid. That's for the arbitrators to sort out. But the bigger question doesn't need arbitration. When mercy becomes a market, something has gone wrong in the character of this nation. Because the whole idea of grace, wherever you first heard it, was that it's free. It's supposed to be the one thing in this world you cannot buy. Maybe it's time for us to ask our leaders of any party to make sure it stays that way. This has been an editorial on KBLA. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. More on KBLA Talk 1580 when we come forward. Thanks for listening. Our very special guest today is the mother of Jelani Day, Carmen Bolden Day. She has a story that's very close to that of Brother Nolan Wells. More when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's sharp. She's fearless. I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how I'm going to get clicks, stop it now. She's that girl, and she's bringing all of that to your radio this summer. Amanda Seales is here. I am Amanda Seales. Comedian, artist, actress, activist, truth teller. The woman who never bites her tongue is coming to KBLA Talk 1580. And baby, the conversations are about to be unmatched. Every Friday, she's going to be lit noon to 2 p.m. and back again 4 to 6 p.m. starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Amanda Seales, keeping it real, keeping it raw, and keeping it rooted. Politics, pop culture, Black excellence, the stuff they don't want us talking about. Amanda's talking about all of it. You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. This is not your average radio show. This is a Seales Summer. Fridays, noon to 2, 4 to 6. Starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Don't just listen. Tune in.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-404-4999. 800-404-4999. Don't wait. Call now. 800-404-4999. 800-404-4999.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Light a candle, pour some wine. Grab a roll, the soft kind for a little me time. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear. Wavy edges for my rear. So let the softness caress your soul. Just relax, you're on a roll. Let her rip. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear.
Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has the same softness you love, now with wavy edges that tear better than the leading one-ply brand. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The nation is still riveting from July 4th and the loss of Nolan Wells, who was the young African-American who went out on a boat with his friends on July 4th, but he did not return with his friends and was later found dead, floating in the lake, the river, the ocean, but alongside the beach. Our very special guest in this hour knows something about this experience. She is Carmen Bolden Day. She is the mother of Jelani Day. And I want to read a press release from 2021. And it reads, the family of Jelani Day, an Illinois grad student, an aspiring doctor whose body was found floating in the Illinois River, is desperately searching for answers. Day's body was found on September 4th and was identified by the LaSalle County coroner on September 23rd through forensic dental identification and DNA testing. Jelani did not disappear into thin air. Somebody knows something. Somebody's seen something. And I need somebody to say something. Day's mother, Carmen Bolden Day, told Good Morning America on that Wednesday. I'm very upset because I can't even look at my son's body. His body has deteriorated to the point where I cannot say a proper goodbye to him, she said. The 25-year-old was living in Bloomington, Illinois, and studying at Illinois State University, and reported missing by his family on August 25th, 2 days after they had last spoken to him, according to a joint press release from the police and the LaSalle County Coroner's Office. He was last seen at the university campus on August 24th, and his car was found 2 days later in Peru, Illinois. Family attorney Hallie Besner told Good Morning America that Day has never been to Peru before, and his family suspects foul play. Carmen Bolden Day, welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show.
Well, hello. How are you today?
It's good to see you again. How have you been?
I've been fair.
Fair to Midland. I know
Fair to
because
Midland.
it's got to be rough because right around July has always got to be a very tough anniversary for you, given the nature of what happened. If you can share with us a little bit about Jelani's story, and then share with us from your perspective what the Wells are going through at this hour.
As you stated, Jelani was a 25-year-old grad student that was attending Illinois State University. He had only been on that campus for 1 week. He was going to school to get his master's in speech pathology. So he was not a stranger to the college environment. Jelani went missing. Jelani disappeared. His car was found 63 miles from where he was last seen in Bloomington, Illinois, without his license plates, his lanyard, his ID, wallet, all found in separate areas. Then a body was found on September the 4th that was not identified as Jelani until September 23rd of 2021. His clothes were found a mile up the river. They were found 18 days after the body was found. So there was a lot of things that were done incorrectly when searching for Jelani and seeking, trying to find the perpetrators who did this to him. Fast forward, we're approaching 5 years. And when people say that time allows this to get easier for you, I don't understand that, because it does not. It seems like this year has been the worst year for me since he's been gone. He just turned 30 in June. And I'm sitting here watching his friends turn 30 and seeing the things that they're doing with their lives. And I can only imagine what Jelani would be doing right now. It's hard.
As only a mother could express herself. The pain must be extraordinary.
Yeah, and it's extremely hard because just a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting down in a restaurant having dinner with my son. And for a second, I forgot that Jelani wasn't here. And I said, DeAndre, did you talk to Jelani? And I had to stop myself. I hadn't done that. But on that day, I'm not for sure as to why my mind was thinking like I was supposed to talk to him.
Carmen, we're all so sorry and feeling this pain with you. And I just want to give you a moment to gather yourself, because it's not something that we think about, that every single day is supposed to get better. As you know, I recently lost my father, not under similar circumstances, but everyone says the days get better. And I won't say that they get better, but you come to a point of acceptance. But it is clear to me that when there are unanswered questions for a mother, the condition of Jelani's body, the ways in which his identification was distributed over more places than one person can be at one time, the fact that his clothes had been separated from his body, the fact that his car was found 63 miles away from where it was last reported. All of these things suggest some kind of foul play. Is there any current update on the case from any of the authorities in that county?
Truthfully, no. Honestly, I've not been as pestering as I have been in the past. This has been a lot for me. I am starting now to work on his case, as well as trying to keep or to get the foundation to grow. So I've been working interchangeably with both of them. I don't have an update from the police. According to them, they don't have any answers for me. If they get any clues or leads, they say that they will follow. But I believe that within all these FOIA reports that I have collected and I've read and things, there's a lot of leads or clues or things that were not done that they could follow on. So that's why I am still advocating for the Attorney General or the governor to step in and assign a new set of eyes to this case, because there's no way that this can be an unsolved case. Jelani did not drown himself. There was no water found in his lungs. Jelani would not drown himself. And somebody murdered my son. And I need those people to be held accountable. And like Nolan. Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Carmen, Ms. Day, let me ask you this question. So this issue with Nolan Wells took place on July 4th. We are a little less than a week, maybe a little more than a week out from the realization of this issue in Mississippi. Again, not pointing the fingers, but the circumstances and the facts give us reason to pause because of the history and the ways in which our young men have been treated throughout history. We're not speaking about something we don't know. That first week, what is it that the Wells are going through right now with these unanswered questions?
I watched his mom on TV last week, and every pain that she was expressing and I felt her. She is going through torture right now. This is torture. See, the first week when Jelani was missing, I didn't know Jelani was deceased. She knows that her child is deceased. The only thing that she doesn't know is how or what happened or when it happened or why it happened. And those answers on top of, like I said, they compound on top of your child being gone, and it's torture. Her standing in front of those cameras, and she was able to articulate the way that she was, and then having to compose yourself to get those words out when you're hurting, that is the hardest thing ever. And I just want her to know, if she hears this, that my heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to her. I don't wish this pain on nobody. And watching her on Good Morning America last week, I felt everything. And like she said, she deserves answers. Her family deserves answers. And that's the same thing I've been reiterating for the past 4.5 years. We need answers.
I do want to ask this question because I do know that when my father was living, he came and met with you. He spent time in that part of the state trying to get answers for you. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that his presence brought comfort to you during that time and that period. And I see that Reverend Sharpton and Ben Crump and others, Kaepernick, Byron Allen, put up resources to try and help with the investigation, including another autopsy in the Nolan Wells case. Does the community support in the form of those leaders provide some relief during this time, or does it only compound it? I have to ask that question because that's who we are, to bring light to a dark place.
Well, let me just be completely transparent and honest with you. Your dad was the biggest advocate for me through my process, especially that first year when he came in. I finally call him Pops because that's what he allowed me to call him. Pops made sure he was the bridge. I mean, he was continually advocating for people to do right. He wanted to have the marches, and when he wanted this stuff to be done, it was done. He wanted to have the press conferences. When it was done, it was done. And I feel robbed, and I know he's your dad, and I only had him for a short time. But during that time, his voice, his presence meant a lot. And as his health was declining by that second year, he was still there, but his presence wasn't there. And over the time, without him, that support publicly, it waned. It was because of him that support was there. I do recognize that. I really hate. I told him in one of the last times that me and him spoke, I said, Pops, you can't leave me because I still need your help. And he told me, he said, "You strong, daughter. You can do this."
It's really good it's good to know that the presence of Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, for a mother who has experienced something similar, to have that presence there, to have the community support, to have newspapers and others bringing light to a dark place, a place that might normally be swept under the rug, but for the presence of these leaders and community. Do you still experience community support as a result of the loss of your son and the ways in which this investigation has meandered on?
I'm not going to say I don't receive community support, because I do have support. When you're speaking in terms of like Ben Crumps and Al Sharpton, I would like for that support to sustain, because we are still seeking that same justice and those same answers. So I hope that while they're standing next to Nolan Wells family, that as it dies down, that support doesn't wane. Because sometimes in this fight that I'm doing, I feel like it has waned. I feel like with the absence of Reverend Jackson, I don't have that type of support. So I need them to know it's important that they stand behind those families when they join in the beginning, continue to join in through the journey until it ends, because it's important. We need you.
Mrs. Day, did the Department of Justice engage your case? Did the federal government engage the case, or did they leave it to the locals?
They left it to the locals. Actually, Reverend Jackson was working with, at that time, Kristen Clark to get the Department of Justice involved. And I know that she did have conversations with him. Her and I were supposed to meet before her tenure ended. However, we were never able to connect. So I know that it was discussed at that level, but they never did anything.
I'm wondering in this moment, and you may not have the answer to this, whether or not this Justice Department is responding, one, to your case, but whether or not they are responding to the Nolan Wells case. I saw a picture most recently of the reformed or transformed, if you will, Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, which would normally handle these kinds of cases. And there wasn't a single African American out of 100 new hires in the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice for Donald John Trump. And given that the division itself came into existence fighting for the civil rights against local law enforcement and local communities that were not capable, one, financially or otherwise, with the resources or the technical skills to be able to get to the bottom of some of these cases. And so I'm wondering, and I'm thinking that one of the things that we've lost in this era is the Department of Justice's willingness to engage cases like Jelani Day's and the case regarding the late Nolan Wells. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. More with our very special guest, Carmen Bolden Day. When we come forward, we're talking about Nathan Wells and her son, Jelani Day. More on KBLA Talk 1580 in just a moment.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who is Black, is offering condolences following the death of South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham.
We disagreed on a whole host of issues, but he was someone who was committed to a lifetime of service.
Jeffries said Graham knew how to work across the aisle when needed. Graham died at 71 from an aortic dissection, and his sister, Darlene Graham Norton, will serve the remainder of his term. Authorities in Jackson County, Mississippi are asking for the public's help in the investigation into Black teen Nolan Wells' death. Sheriff John Ledbetter is urging anyone with information to come forward, saying even small details could help. And the Harriet Tubman Museum and Educational Center in Cambridge, Maryland is making repairs after being vandalized over the weekend. Officials say the site's donation box was stolen and a mural honoring Tubman's history was damaged. The museum is closed until further notice as repairs are made. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Jordan Walker, an African-American from Stone Mountain, Georgia, will receive $1 million for winning the Home Run Derby during Major League Baseball's All-Star Weekend in Philadelphia. The $1 million is more than Walker's salary this season. Walker, in his third season with the Cardinals, is earning $800,000 this year. Walker is the first African-American player to win the Home Run Derby since Detroit's Prince Fielder in 2012. Since the Home Run Derby was created in 1985, 8 African-American players have won the title. An update for you on the percentage of African-American players in Major League Baseball this season. The number is 6.8%. That's way below the 18% that were on MLB rosters in 1991. And Dave Roberts of the Dodgers is still baseball's only African-American manager. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Our voices aren't the minority opinion. They're the American conscience. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
This is America.
Number 14. That's where Talkers Magazine ranked Tavis Smiley on their heavy 100 list of the 100 most important talk radio hosts in America. Join Tavis weekdays, 9 a.m. to noon or 9 p.m. to midnight. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
You have something to say, and we want to hear it. KBLA Talk 1580 is engagement radio, not outrage radio. A place where your hopes, your frustrations, and your ideas are welcome 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Real talk, real people, real Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580, the station that sounds like the city looks. Tune in on your AM radio dial at 1580. Download our free KBLA 1580 app or listen live on our website at KBLA1580.com.
Unapologetically progressive.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
Let's do this. When the political stakes are this high, you need a source you can trust. KBLA Talk 1580. Los Angeles is home for politics all the way to November. Stay informed. Stay ahead.
This is America.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including Mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County Sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to the need. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to the me. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. We are talking about one of the most difficult subjects, emotional and heart-wrenching subjects known to human beings. A parent who has to bury their child. And no parent should bury their child. Children, in the natural order of things, should be burying their parents. And that's what Carmen Bolden Day experienced with her son, Jelani Day, with more answers and more questions and more questions and more questions than answers are available. And she is sharing with us the strife, the difficulty that the Nolan Wells family is experiencing at this hour as the investigation appears not to have the same kind of coordination that it would have if federal authorities would recognize this clearly as a civil rights case. Carmen, welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show.
Thank you for having me.
I am so glad that you're here. So you shared with us what week one looks like. In their case, they had a body. In your case, you had to wait, hoping anxiously for the phone to ring or for there to be a misunderstanding, or maybe, how about this? I mean, the worst case scenario is that you get a call from your son in jail, but at least your son's in jail. I mean, that's bad news, but it's better news than the news that any parent could actually anticipate. In fact, I could imagine under the circumstances, there are nights where you might wish that your son was in jail and away from the harm that obviously befell him. At least you would still have your son with you. The question I want to raise is, what can the Wells family expect going forward?
Well, I would rather say that I would want them to expect that they'll have the assistance and cooperation from the individuals that can assist them to find out what happened to their son. However, with what we're seeing that they're having the reluctancy of this help, right? Things that being erased from their son's phone, parents and the ones that they are suspecting, they erase things from social media. The authorities wanting to go to the most convenient reasoning as to why Nolan is no longer here is that he drowned, without even letting us know, or without even looking to what happened, and just taking these stories from these people that, and your child, things. No, she wasn't there with him. No, his mom wasn't there with him. But when she says, I've been around my son and I've watched how he snapped and he does this and he does that, and then to get his phone and none of those snaps are there, first red flag. And for them to not listen to her, it not only is it frustrating, I just can imagine how angry she is. How angry she is because you all see, you can look and see and know that there's foul play, but you just want to sweep it under the rug because of whatever whoever these people are, whatever their prominent level is in society or whatever titles they hold. You want to ignore those facts and not acknowledge the fact that my son is gone and somebody over here is responsible.
I was listening to Reverend Sharpton earlier today break down some elements of the case. He reportedly gave his keys to one of his friends. He reportedly gave his cell phone to another friend. He decided he didn't want to go back with them with no way back home other than by boat, and he didn't have his own boat. Al Sharpton said that the pieces of the story defy logic and defy even the craziest imagination as to what really happened on that island. And I can only think in this moment that we have to be extremely vigilant by keeping the pressure on the local authorities and getting an independent investigation done with someone who has the power to compel testimony from the friends, proper interrogation processes where they have to lawyer up and evidence can present itself from other phones that need to be subpoenaed and determined what was taking place. And I understand there's also a video recording of some conversation where he's actually arguing with some of his so-called friends. Mrs. Wells said today, according to Reverend Al Sharpton, that one of the individuals reportedly referred to Brother Wells as one of his lifelong friends, and the parents themselves says, we don't even know this boy. How is he my son's lifelong friend? And my son has never brought him home to introduce him to us, never hung out with us, never went anywhere with us. And his parents said that's simply not possible. So the facts do not equal the truth here. And proper authority, including the idea that you could lie and go to jail, is enough to scare the hell out of anybody to get some truth out of them.
Listen, when you have those friends that are saying that they're his friends, number one, like she said, she's never heard of them. Or in my case, Jelani's friends didn't even want to speak up. So there were a lot of things. There's a lot of different avenues, a lot of different things that I was looking at like, what is going on here? And like I said, for us mothers, herself and myself, we're close to our children. We know our children. We watch them. We are aware of who they are around, even in their older age. Number one, our culture doesn't allow us to raise our children and tell them, like, give somebody your phone. In this day and age, kids are not just handing over their phones to people. In this day and age, kids are not just saying, I'm coming out here with you, but I'm going to leave with another group of people. They're not just doing that. Or I'm just going to find my way back. Here Nolan is surrounded by nothing but white people. And you mean to tell me he's going to tell you that you take him to an island and he's going to tell you I'm going to find my way back home? No. I'm sure, like his dad said, when you go with somebody, you come back with them. We raised them that way. Jelani didn't just get in that car and go 63 miles all the way to a sundown town by himself because that was a good idea for him on this particular day. No, something happened to our children. And the thing of it is, the people that we're talking to, these investigators, these police and everybody else, they know that there is foul play. It doesn't even look right to them, but they still do not want to acknowledge it because, again, whoever these people are, because of their titles, because of what they want to protect, they look at our children as just another black kid that is gone from here, as if we don't mean anything. And we need to keep on reiterating that we matter. Our sons matter. They have parents that are behind them 1,010% that will fight to the core for them.
I am moved by your testimony. I hope the nation is moved by your testimony from one end of the country to the other. We are talking about not only Jelani Day, but Brother Wells, who lost his life on July 4th in Mississippi and did not come back home. Our very special guest in this hour is Carmen Bolden Day. She's sharing with us what the Wells family is going through at this hour. It's painful, it is heart-wrenching, but it is an all too common story in the African-American experience. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. More on KBLA Talk 1580 when we come forward. More with Carmen Bolden Day.
While you're stuck in traffic, we can at least bring you up to speed on the news of the day. You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you feeling the heat? LADWP can help you stay cool this summer and save money. Through the Cool LA program, eligible customers can receive instant rebates of up to $275 on new portable, window, and wall air conditioners. Shop the Cool LA Marketplace today and beat the heat and save. Learn more and apply at ladwp.com/cool-LA. That's ladwp.com/cool-LA.
Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
Hi, I'm Chris Holden, former California Assembly member, former Mayor of Pasadena, and CEO of LA Fire Justice. I've spent my career fighting for our communities. When I saw Edison celebrating $4.5 billion in profits while Eaton fire survivors struggle to make ends meet, it made me simultaneously sick and furious. Families and individuals are dealing with financial pressure, insurance delays, costly remediation, and the painful question of how to rebuild their lives, while the utility that caused the fire is paying its executives millions and is more profitable than ever. That's not justice. That's a disgrace. Join the lawsuit with LA Fire Justice to hold Edison accountable. We're here to help you, your family, and our community recover. Visit lafirejustice.com today to learn more about your eligibility and how to start.
Advertisement. Douglas Boxer, 221 East Walnut Street, Suite 100, Pasadena, California, 91101 is the attorney responsible for this ad.
LA Fire Justice is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580. In a world full of noise, one station keeps it real. KBLA Talk 1580, where the conversation goes deeper, the voices sound like yours, and the issues that matter most to our community take center stage. Progressive, powerful, unapologetically us. Whether you're driving through the city or tuning in from your home or office, join the public square. KBLA Talk 1580, your home for talk that enlightens, encourages, and empowers. Listen live on our free KBLA 1580 app, on our website at KBLA1580.com, or on your radio dial at 1580 AM.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Quality, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download that.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Our very special guest in this hour has been none other than Carmen Bolden Day, who in 2021 lost her child, Jelani Day, under similar circumstances that brother Nolan Wells seems to have experienced in the state of Mississippi. Now, the investigation has not concluded. No evidence beyond that which we've been told has been presented. So it's very difficult to ascribe or allow guilt to take place. But in Black folks, we have something called a Negro instinct, and every Negro mother certainly has one. Since Brown versus the Board of Education exposed us to desegregated schools and our opportunities as Black people, those who were capable, to not only experience white children in classroom with our children sitting side by side, and even those who've been even more fortunate with the resources to send their children to private schools, we have a whole new generation of young African Americans who have more white friends than they do Black friends. And yet, the politics, the culture, things are shifting very quickly in the United States. The spirit energy has shifted. And my question for Carmen Bolden Day is this. We were raised in a society where Dr. King shared with us that we should be measured by the content of our character and not by the color of our skin. Brown versus the Board of Education brought forward the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, allowing us to have access to kids and to schools and to facilities we've never had access to in the history of our people from 1619 to the present. But as I share with my mother, and my mother often shares with me, even at 61 years old, she says, times is a changing. She still says that at 82, times is a changing. What message for these young African Americans who find themselves the only African American at the party, the only African American in the boat, the only African American dating the white girl, the only African American? What message do you have for them in this environment as a mother?
You know, I don't know. I don't want to say that all white people are bad, because I don't believe that all white people are bad. But I do want my children, my grandchild, my nieces and nephews, my friends' children to know that putting yourself in the positions where you're always or can tend to be the only, it's important to be aware. It's important to, one of my biggest things now is I need locations. I have locations on all my children now. I didn't have that on Jelani. We didn't do the location thing back then. But losing Jelani made it a mandate for me and my children to share our locations. I would just say, and with, like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm racist, because I'm not racist. However, I do know that racism is prevalent. I've encountered it. You know, Jelani was the only in his program. He had his own contentions of that. You know, he felt his own way because of things that he had experienced growing up, being the only in programs like that, because we are set apart sometimes. So my advice to him was to always, Jelani, show yourself friendly. but also be aware of your surroundings. Be protective of yourself, and always let somebody know where you are, who you are with. I don't care how old you are. I'm the nosy mom. My kids are 30 plus year, all of them, except for Zayna right now, are over 30. I'm still asking, who are you with? What's their names? Let me see their face on the phone. And I'm more into it now because the fact that I have lost Jelani. So my only advice would be is to continue to be proactive, continue to be, like I said, aware, and most of all, be careful. Be careful, because I want our sons and our daughters to return back home after being the home.
Carmen, let me ask you this question. Dad, my dad would tell me the story when Martin Luther King Jr. was killed on April 4th, 1968. That Daddy King spent so much of his time mourning the death of Martin. That's what Dad would say, mourning the death of Martin. That when Daddy King heard that his other son had drowned in a pool, it hit him almost as hard as it hit having lost Martin. But, and I say Martin with respect because I always refer to Dr. King as Dr. King, but my father and their generation had a different relationship. And they certainly had a relationship with Daddy King. In this moment, for parents who are in this struggle, they should also turn to the children that they do have, right? Mm-hmm. The children that God has left you with, and to keep those relationships strong. Because I can imagine that as much as we talk about their cases and their cases get the light, it doesn't mean that the parent loves any less the children that are still here, that are still trying to make it. Correct, Carmen?
That is correct. Because also you got to realize, even as a mother, you with the children that are still left here, they also are grieving, but they're watching. I can only speak from my experience. My kids are watching me, and they're always trying to make sure that I'm okay. They're always trying to encourage me and push me and to make sure that I'm doing well. But I, in turn, am watching them because, in our process, we lost Jelani, but then 7 months later, we lost their father. So it was compounded, double grief with them. So it is I never want to forget them, and I don't, because they are my life. Those are my children as well. Those are Jelani's brothers and sisters, and Jelani's brothers and sisters, all of them are important. I mean, they're grieving their brother, even though they don't talk about it a lot. And it's hard for them too. I guess they gather all their strength together and they come together so that they can give me the strength to go on and do the talking. So,
Carmen, we are so proud of you, and we are so proud of the strength that you have endured through a very difficult time. Carmen, we have about 50 seconds left in the show. Is there a message that you would send to Mrs. Wells on this occasion? The final 50 seconds.
I would just tell Mrs. Wells, my heart goes out to you. I encourage her to lean on her family, and most of all, to lean on God, even though it may feel like to her that God has failed her. Because I've been there. He is ever present and he is near. So I would encourage her just to lean her and trust in her faith in God, and to keep on encouraging herself. Every memory, cherish and hold on to it, and always remember. My mom tells me all the time when I tell her I'm trying to be strong and not cry, she tells me Jelani is worth every tear. And I'm telling his mom, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be strong for everybody. Nolan is worth every tear. He's worth it all. I just encourage her, and I hope that one day that I can meet her. I would love to just let her know that I'm sending my love to her.
Thank you for joining us, Carmen. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You've been listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who is black, is offering condolences following the death of South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham.
We disagreed on a whole host of issues, but he was someone who was committed to a lifetime of service.
Jeffries said Graham knew how to work across the aisle when needed. Graham died at 71 from an aortic dissection, and his sister, Darlene Graham Norton, will serve the remainder of his term. Authorities in Jackson County, Mississippi are asking for the public's help in the investigation into black teen Nolan Wells' death. Sheriff John Ledbetter is urging anyone with information to come forward, saying even small details could help. And the Harriet Tubman Museum and Educational Center in Cambridge, Maryland is making repairs after being vandalized over the weekend. Officials say the site's donation box was stolen and a mural honoring Tubman's history was damaged. The museum is closed until further notice as repairs are made. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Jordan Walker, an African-American from Stone Mountain, Georgia, will receive $1 million for winning the Home Run Derby during Major League Baseball's All-Star Weekend in Philadelphia. The $1 million is more than Walker's salary this season. Walker, in his third season with the Cardinals, is earning $800,000 this year. Walker is the first African-American player to win the Home Run Derby since Detroit's Prince Fielder in 2012. Since the Home Run Derby was created in 1985, 8 African-American players have won the title. An update for you on the percentage of African-American players in Major League Baseball this season. The number is 6.8%. That's way below the 18% that were on MLB rosters in 1991. And Dave Roberts of the Dodgers is still baseball's only African-American manager. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let me put my hard hat on, go back outside, and see if these procrastination Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know.
Destination Crenshaw, your time is up. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 and Bethesda Temple Church invite residents, churches, businesses, and community leaders along the Crenshaw corridor to join a vitally important community conversation Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. For years now, this community has been living with unkept promises and the devastating effects of the unfinished Destination Crenshaw construction project, leaving residents, businesses, and churches to deal with myriad problems, including the loss of parking, restricted access, traffic congestion, and a lack of emergency vehicle access when it matters most. For years now, Procrastination Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local Black-owned businesses and, sadly, has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode, and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating Black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
Jesse Jackson Jr., welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. They went out, but they didn't come back home. There's a phrase that keeps repeating itself in Black households across this country, and it's not a phrase that you should have to say about your own child, your own brother, your own friend. It is this: he went out with them, he didn't come home. 18-year-old Nolan Wells went out on July 4th, a boat ride with 3 of his white friends out to Horn Island off the Mississippi coast to celebrate the holiday. Wells was a wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College, a young man his coach called and said never had a bad day. His mother, Christine Wansley, says she raised him to understand this country's history and to understand the tightrope he'd have to walk as a black man in the Deep South. 2 days later, his body washed up on that same island. His friends came back. Nolan didn't. And now his family is left with what families like his are left with far too often in this country: questions, not answers. Questions. Why was he the only one left behind? Why do the accounts from his friends about who he supposedly stayed with not match up with what the woman herself had to say happened? Why was his phone recovered not with his body, but in the possession of one of the young men on the trip, with messages his mother says had been deleted? These aren't accusations I'm inventing. These are the facts on the record, raised by his family's attorney, Ben Crump, and reported by outlets, including the Associated Press and Reuters. Now, let me be fair, because fairness matters, especially when we're angry. The sheriff's office says no foul play is suspected at this stage. Wells's friends have told reporters they loved him, that they have done nothing and did nothing to him, that turning his death into a race thing misrepresents who they are and what happened that day. An independent autopsy has been commissioned. The investigation is still open. We do not know, as of today, exactly how Nolan Wells died. Nobody honest can tell you that they know for certain. But here's what we do know. We know the pattern. We know that this is not the first time a young black man has gone out with white friends or acquaintances in this country and simply did not make it back. And we know that when that happens, black families are too often met with not urgency, but with a rush to close the case. No foul play suspected, announced before the autopsy was even complete. That's not just a Mississippi problem. That's an American problem, and it has a long memory, because this is Mississippi. This is Alabama. This is the ground that remembers Emmett Till. This is the ground that remembers bodies pulled from rivers with no justice ever following. When a black mother in this state says she doesn't trust that her son's death will be investigated the way it would be if the races were reversed, that's not paranoia. That's a pattern recognition earned over generations, and it deserves to be taken seriously, not dismissed as playing the race card. So what do we want? We want the same thing Nolan's mother wants: transparency, a real investigation, not a rushed conclusion. Every witness on that island that day, and there were reportedly 200 to 300 people there, coming forward with what they saw. Every piece of video verified, examined, not left to rot in a group chat. The phone records, the deleted messages, all of it accounted for and not buried. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You're listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. I can't get over what I heard from Carmen Bolden Day, that it does not get better with time, that it drags on, that day after day, in some way, the memory of her son, Jelani Day, presents itself. And that's what Nolan Wells's mother can look forward to, and his father. That day after day, it will not get better. There'll be more questions until they are answered. In other words, the permanent tortured state that people are left to live in for unsolved crimes, misadventures, or however this case may ultimately be categorized until we have the truth, will only serve as a ghost that haunts the living. And the quicker we get to answers, the quicker we get to the truth, the quicker we get to justice, the quicker people can accept the outcome of a system that is fair, that treated her son as equal, that treated our community as fair, that treated each and every single American as just. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. More on KBLA Talk 1580 when we come forward.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's sharp. She's fearless. I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how I was going to get clicks, stop it now. She's that girl, and she's bringing all of that to your radio this summer. Amanda Seales is here. I am Amanda Seales. Comedian, artist, actress, activist, truth teller. The woman who never bites her tongue is coming to KBLA Talk 1580. And baby, the conversations are about to be unmatched. Every Friday, she's going to be lit noon to 2 p.m. and back again 4 to 6 p.m. starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Amanda Seales, keeping it real, keeping it raw, and keeping it rooted. Politics, pop culture, Black excellence, the stuff they don't want us talking about. Amanda's talking about all of it.
You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works.
This is not your average radio show. This is a Seales Summer. Fridays, noon to 2, 4 to 6. Starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Don't just listen. Tune in.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't know the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-404-4999. 800-404-4999. Don't wait. Call now. 800-404-4999. 800-404-4999.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Light a candle, pour some wine. Grab a roll, the soft kind for a little me time. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear. Wavy edges for my rear. So let the softness caress your soul. Just relax, you're on a roll. Let her rip. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear.
Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has the same softness you love, now with wavy edges that tear better than the leading one-ply brand. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to the need. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. We're on the grind today, this Tuesday, with Barbara Arnwine. Barbara's the president and founder of the Transformative Justice Coalition. She's internationally renowned for her contributions on critical justice issues and every civil rights issue in the last 4 decades. Currently, she also serves as co-chair and facilitator of the National Commission for Voter Justice, the Millennial Votes Matters convenings, and the Voting Rights Alliance. Born in Southern California, Barbara Arnwine is a graduate of Scripps College and Duke University School of Law. Barbara, welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show and to your show, On the Grind.
It's
Barbara,
good to be here.
how you
And
doing?
I enjoyed your opening.
I appreciate that. I'd like to
Yes.
hang around that for a moment, Barbara, because
Yes.
you're not just out here getting people to register and vote and encouraging them to participate in the primaries. That is a sense of immediacy and urgency. But you'd like to transform the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division. I mean, you need the leverage in an administration that can fight for justice with the resources necessary to address many of these issues. Barbara, you've lived through lots of cases like this. Barbara, the Nolan Wells family. Share with us your thoughts about what happened to Brother Wells.
It is disturbing. I think that we need to adopt some new protocols as Black families. Don't let your children drive themselves hundreds of miles by themselves. Don't let your Black son or daughter be the only one with their white friends. You always have to assume that within those categories, there could be folks who are good, well-meaning, and there could be some malicious people. We have seen video since the drowning. We don't know how it happened, or even if it were just a drowning of Nolan Wells. There has been a popular video, I don't know if people have seen it, of this poor Black man, this young Black man who, just days later is stranded by his, quote, friends on the other side of a river that he can't swim across, and they know he can't swim. And he is hollering out, "This ain't funny, y'all. Somebody help me. This is not funny." And a white couple on their family boat comes and allows him to follow, to hold on to something on the boat in the water, and they take him to the other side, and you can hear him yelling at his friends that this ain't funny, y'all don't understand. I could have died out there. That wasn't good what you did. And they are laughing in the background. Folks, we live in a dangerous era. We live in an era of resurgence of hate. Don't forget, what did we talk about last week? Last week, we talked about July 4th and that Black woman on that subway surrounded by hundreds. And it turned out it was 400 of them who came to DC from the Patriotic Front to chant their hate in the streets of America. They live. They don't only come to life when they're in DC and with their khakis on and their uniforms on. These people live amongst us. They live across the street from our children. Why do we assume that we're safe? That's a dangerous assumption. My sister told me a story that cut me to my heart. Her youngest daughter would always go across the street and play with this white couple's children. And my sister was so proud because they were living in one of the southern states, and this was, such a great show of, progress, etc. And her child was having sleepovers and everything. One day, her child is sitting in the kitchen and starts saying something comes on the TV about Obama. It's back in the Obama years. And she starts yelling, "I hate Obama." and her mother almost fell off the chair. And because they have, on the house, throughout the house, all these pictures of Michelle and Obama, and they're celebrating the fact that he's president, etc. And she said, no, he is a killer. And she starts ranting all this far right madness about Obama, all these conspiracy theories, just ranting them. And my sister is blown away because she didn't realize that what she thought was play was indoctrination.
Wow.
Come on now.
Wow.
And she had no clue that they had been teaching her daughter this until her daughter got excited enough to recite it to her. That was the end of those playovers and sleepovers and hanging out, because she recognized who the enemy was. And folks, this is happening underneath our eyes every single day.
Barbara, it's happening in every one of our households. But
yes,
I'm grateful that you took us back to the image of the woman on the train at the Metro in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Because what you've just described is the way in which the same image is repeating itself in so many different forms, whether it's Nolan Wells on an island, whether it's the young lady who partied with her friends, whether it's the black woman, the young black girl that I saw on social media. She had gone to a pool party with her friends. She was wearing, I guess, fairly nice clothes, but all of the white girls grabbed her and threw her in the water.
Right.
And she said, "This isn't funny, guys." She said, "This isn't funny. Don't do this. I didn't come here to be the butt of all jokes, but it's funny to these kids. It's funny to them."
And it's not even funny. Sometimes it's malicious. I mean, come on, we know the case out of Georgia where they drowned the little black boy, tried to drown the little black boy, or they drowned him. And we know the story out of Massachusetts where they did the same thing. That wasn't funny. They were being malicious. And they were actually saying the N-word while they were holding him down in the Massachusetts instance. Folks, we got to be clear about who we are and what era we're in. We're in an era of insurgent hate where we have eugenicists believing people sitting in the White House making policy on deportation, on DEI, on all of this stuff. They hate us. And we're wrong to think that these are just a few rotten apples. This is a whole network of people. I'm not talking conspiracy. You don't believe me? You go read Curtis Yarvin. Yarvin. You go read his stuff and understand that he is the guru for Steve Bannon, the guru for Peter Thiel, the guru for Elon Musk, the guru for J.D. Vance, that he's admired by people like Stephen Miller and others. People, what era do you think we're in? We are in an era of resurgent hate. I recommend to everyone that before you get depressed, before you get sad beyond means, I want you to listen to the speech that my pastor, John Howard Wesley, gave this last Sunday, where he talked about this precise instance of Nolan Wells. And the title of the speech was, "Here We Go Again." And he talks out of 2 Samuel 22. And the story is of Goliath's descendants continually challenging David's family and David's people. And the Bible says that David in this period has grown faint. But what's interesting is that time after time, one of his nephews or younger descendants rise up and slay the giant. The giants keep coming. The son of this, the cousin of that. All these giants descended from the same lineage as Goliath. And it's a reminder that just one victory, one Civil Rights Act, one Voting Rights Act isn't enough to stop the giants from coming with their hate. And it's a reminder to us that we can rise up and slay them with our own organizing. But if we're blind to the period we're in, we don't see it and we don't understand it, and we think it's just something bizarre that happened, something willy-nilly. We don't understand, people, the era we're in. What do you think white Christian nationalism is?
You know, Barbara, let me just share this with you. I can't begin to tell you the number of people that I have on our radio show who want to skip over Jim Crow 2.0 and go right to third Reconstruction. I mean, they just want to go right to a vision that ignores, you know, everything from 1877 to 1954. They just want to get right back to this la la land of America that we experienced post Brown versus the Board of Education. And it is impossible. I'm going to say it twice. It is impossible to enter a third Reconstruction without the ensuing period of a second form of Jim Crow. And if you know anything about first Jim Crow, it is everything Barbara just said. It is violent. It is hate-filled. It is a resurgence of white supremacy and white nationalism. It is backed by moral language from the evangelical church. It lynches people. It laughs at people. Yes, it's malicious. It's malicious when it gets to court, but it's a joke to these kids.
Some of them.
They realize that it's a crime, and when an investigation reveals it's a crime, they change their tune. But in the moment, they're on beer, they're on whatever they're on, they're laughing and they're giggling and they're making fun of someone, and someone happens to probably be one of us who ends up getting hurt. That's the reality of their mindset. They have no idea the consequences of their action. And in
I think some do.
You think they do?
Some do. Oh, absolutely.
Well, they're going to learn. They're going to learn because we're going to fight for justice.
We need to talk about Tania. You know, later on in this show, let's talk about our sister that nobody's been talking about little Tania, Nicole Miller, I believe is her last name. Yes, Miller, who was found hanging from a tree right before Juneteenth, the day before Juneteenth. She had gotten into a car and drove herself from X to Florida, and I think North Carolina to Florida. And, you know, and I know my sisters, you know, we're capable, we can drive, we can do things. I've driven, you know, distances, but it's not safe. People don't understand in this country how many missing African-American women are missing every year. How many African-American men go missing every year, folks? Every year they go missing. And sometimes we never, ever find their bodies. We don't know where they are. Folks, I'm telling you, this is uglier than we want to address it. We want to only see it as, you know, one-offs. But there's some real serious cultural, genocidal madness at play here.
Barbara, this is Carmen Bolden Day, who lost her son.
Carmen.
Yes, hi, Miss Barbara.
How beautiful to see you, my sister.
It's good to see you as well.
The last time we saw each other was, I believe, the day after the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Yes, it was.
And we were saying to each other, what we gonna do?
And we haven't done it yet.
Right, exactly. Let's do that, because we were talking about what it was like to how he was such a champion for you. And how he introduced us.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
how he, how, you know, his passing, you know, takes away and leaves such a void, right?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
nobody had the authority, the moral authority, the presence that he had to demand justice the way he did in your case.
Yes,
and he
ma'am.
was, oh my gosh, you know, I thought about it I think about it all the time.
I know when we come forward, I'm going to have a brief conversation with Barbara Arnwine and Carmen Bolden Day right here on the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. We need to talk about this era that we grew up in, where it was okay to be the one black person who had a bunch of white friends. Today, there are consequences. There are consequences for that same behavior that have changed in real time. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. More with Barbara Arnwine when we come forward.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump says he will address the nation in a primetime speech Thursday focused partly on election integrity.
It's really big news.
He is expected to discuss declassified intelligence involving alleged foreign interference in the 2020 election and appear alongside top federal officials. University of Dayton Basketball Hall of Famer Roosevelt Chapman Jr. is speaking out after charges against him were dismissed. Chapman, joined by the NAACP, says his former partner grabbed the steering wheel and caused a crash in May. Police filed kidnapping and assault charges, but a grand jury declined to indict him. In Dallas, Wings star Paige Beckers is criticizing the WNBA's lack of black women serving as head coaches. Beckers, who is white, says qualified black candidates are being overlooked and believes a league built largely by black women should provide more opportunities for them to lead teams. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Jordan Walker, an African-American from Stone Mountain, Georgia, will receive $1 million for winning the Home Run Derby during Major League Baseball's All-Star Weekend in Philadelphia. The $1 million is more than Walker's salary this season. Walker, in his third season with the Cardinals, is earning $800,000 this year. Walker is the first African-American player to win the Home Run Derby since Detroit's Prince Fielder in 2012. Since the Home Run Derby was created in 1985, 8 African-American players have won the title. An update for you on the percentage of African-American players in Major League Baseball this season. The number is 6.8%. That's way below the 18% that were on MLB rosters in 1991. And Dave Roberts of the Dodgers is still baseball's only African-American manager. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
Let's do this.
Every vote matters. Every voice counts. And between now and November, the decisions made in Washington, Sacramento, and here at home in Los Angeles will shape the future of your family and your community. Don't leave it to chance. And don't leave it to guesswork. KBLA Talk 1580 is your source for the political conversations that matter most. Real talk, real insight, right here. KBLA Talk 1580, the place for politics.
Yeah, boy!
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including Mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County Sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. It's Tenacious Tuesday on the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. And we're on the grind with Barbara Arnwine. Barbara, welcome forward to the show.
It's good to be here. Thank
Barbara,
you for having me.
I'm not going to have Carmen with us very long, but I do want to ask a question that I raised in the last segment for both of you to answer. Carmen Bolden Day lost her son, Jelani Day, in 2021 under suspicious, deeply concerning, troubling circumstances that we talked about in the first hour. We need not go through them again. But the question that I raised before the break was this, that it was kind of novel to have white friends. I mean, to go to this school and to be able to say, Mom, I got some white friends. I'd like to invite them over. I'd like them to stay over. Al Sharpton often tells the story about how his white friends came home from college with him one day. And he grew up Pentecostal. And so he was going to take them to church. But he had to have a meeting with his mother first. He wanted to tell her, don't clap, don't be shouting, don't be running up and down the aisle, because my white friends won't understand it. So Al says it in such a way that's very humorous. But we were all raised that way, Barbara, Carmen, that post Brown versus the Board of Education, we were heading in the direction of some kind of beloved community, some kind of society where we could all get along. But Barbara Arnwine, Carmen, raises the question that we need to be very, very careful in this environment and in this era, because what starts out as friendly can turn deadly. Carmen, why don't we start with you?
She's not wrong. She's absolutely correct. Like I said, being the only in those groups, just because, and normally it's just that we're connected to at least one of them that we really trust. And there may be others that are connected to them that they don't feel the same way about us that this one white person that is our friend feels about us. So what she said isn't wrong. I'm wholeheartedly in agreement with it. Like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm the racist black woman, but however, this is our reality now. And this is what our children are facing. And we are raising smart, intelligent black children that end up in these groups considered to be the only. So what do? They make friends. And it's unfortunate that the ones that our children come to interact with don't like them because of the color of their skin. It's unfortunate that they were raised this way. I always say us as black people are the most forgiving race ever. We will accept you. We will love you. We will bring you home, feed you, clothe you, love you on down. But we don't always get that same reciprocation in the white family when you're the only Black person over there with the white people, because they don't look at us like that.
You know, when I was at Scripps College, and folks, this was decades ago, but when I was at Scripps College, one of my white friends, because remember, you know, we're in that integration era, you know, it's all about showing that we're all together, etc. One of my white friends invited me to come out with the ladies. You know, we were all going out for ice cream. And so we go out and we have ice cream. And afterwards, we're all back at the dorm and they're laughing. And I'm, you know, not part of the joke, but I was all the joke, because it turned out that the reason why they wanted to go to that ice cream parlor, because it was known for being a racist hangout. And they wanted to see how many people were going to act stupid because I was there.
So it was funny to them. Isn't that something?
And I thought from that day on, I knew they weren't my friends. I had no illusions, never hung out with them again, because I realized that they had put my life in jeopardy. In jeopardy. What were they going to do? The one thing that is evident is my friend who's no longer with us, John Payton, always talked about gratuitous racism. And one thing he talked about was the cowardice of whites who know better. That when they're in the space and they're witnessing racism, they're witnessing things, they won't stand up. They won't stand up for the Black person. They won't assert themselves. They won't say, no, that's a bad thing to do. They won't. And it happens too often. That's why you can have a scenario where you can say, I know X was my son's, you know, best white friend and there was no issues. But if that friend gets in the company of somebody who is an outright hidden racist and they do something very racist and dangerous, the possibilities that they will jump them and stop them are very, very low. That's the problem.
Carmen, can you share with us the event that's coming up for Jelani sometime soon?
Yes. In August, on August 22nd, 2026, we will be having our 4th annual fundraising gala for the Jelani Day Foundation. This year is very, very important to me. We normally had all white because right before Jelani passed away, he wanted me to have him an all white birthday party. Unfortunately, he didn't make it to that birthday. And so every year we had all white at the gala. This year with him turning 30, I know my child. I know he would have been doing something different, something to stand out. So I changed the color to all Black. I wanted to be very sophisticated. And also I just want everybody to know what our progress has been, what we are wanting to do as the foundation, and how important your support is needed. So I'm asking everybody, if they can and will, to join us on Saturday, August 22nd, from 4 to 7 at the Red Door Meeting Place in Broadview, Illinois. It's up in Chicago, for our 4th annual fundraising gala supporting the Jelani Day Foundation and the works that we want to see done. I want Jelani's name to be as big as what Susan B. Komen is to breast cancer. That's what I want Jelani Day to be for missing brown and Black males. So I appreciate all the support and love. And if you can't attend, please donate. Go to the JelaniDayFoundation.org and donate, please.
Carmen, is there a phone number where we can reach out for those who might want to get tickets for the event?
The tickets are available on Eventbrite. There's not a number, unfortunately, and I don't want to give my phone number out on here.
Please don't.
But the tickets are available on Eventbrite. We are also active on all social platforms, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. So if anybody wants to reach out to us through the Justice for Jelani Day pages on any of those platforms, they can, and we can direct them how they can contribute to the Jelani Day Foundation.
I appreciate you very much, Carmen. Thank you for being on our program, and I look forward to having
Love you, my sis.
In the not
Thank you. I love you too, Barbara, and I'll be speaking to you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. It's good seeing you. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you. Anytime. Barbara, when we come forward, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the complicated legacy of Senator Lindsey Graham.
And I want to make sure that we talk about Good Trouble Lives On. It starts Friday.
Absolutely, and we certainly want to talk about.
And I'm missing meeting after meeting right now.
Okay, well, we want to talk about how we can support you.
I want to make sure that we talk about that.
We're going to talk about how we can support Barbara when we come forward. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You're listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. When we come forward, we're going to talk about a number of issues that Barbara knows we need to cover, and we will do them fairly quickly. More when we come back on KBLA Talk 1580.
While you're stuck in traffic, we can at least bring you up to speed on the news of the day. You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Gas prices got you down. LADWP customers get a rebate of up to $4,000 when you buy a used electric or plug-in hybrid vehicle. Installing an EV charger at your home? Get a rebate for that too, up to $1,500. Visit ladwp.com/EV today and start saving. That's ladwp.com/EV. Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and the drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge to face, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1964, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. Today, they are the nation's largest nonprofit source of expert mentoring, resources, and education. Whether you're starting out, building back, or have worked at it for years, SCORE will match you with specialized mentors. Our thousands of volunteers provide the guidance and connections you need for free. Your success is waiting. SCORE is ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The midterm elections are upon us. It is voting season once again. Common Cause's motto is fighting for the democracy we deserve. In service of that goal, Common Cause puts its state and national policy expertise, massive network of grassroots supporters, and nonpartisan approach into action to strengthen our democracy against the challenges we face today. They work at every level of government on priorities that impact each of our lives, like defending the right to vote, limiting big money's influence on our elections, holding public officials accountable, and more. Common Cause is a nonpartisan grassroots organization dedicated to upholding the core values of American democracy. They seek to empower all people to make their voices heard in the political process. This election may be the most important one ever. If you'd like to make a donation or volunteer in service to the Constitution, please visit commoncause.org. That's commoncause.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You deserve a treat, a $10 bill credit treat.
If you get an LADWP paper bill but go online to pay it, stop! Break up with your mailbox. It's time to go paperless. With paperless billing, bill reminders come straight to your inbox. You can access 7 years of past bills in your online account, and you don't have to deal with paper clutter piling up. It's a win for you, your time, and the environment. $10 bill credit for new LADWP paperless billing signups. LADWP.com/paperless.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome forward to the J Lunch Club on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You're listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, and we're on the ground with Barbara Arnwine. Barbara, listen, there are a number of ways that we can support you, both financially, but also in terms of actions that you're engaging in the not too distant future. Barbara, how can we do both?
All right, everybody, we need you to join us for making good trouble on Friday, July 17th, this Friday, where we're going, and on Saturday and Sunday, because this is John Lewis Good Trouble Lives On National Weekend of Action. We're going to teach on Friday so that people know what their voting rights are and how to navigate around all this voter suppression, how to make sure that they are active voters, that they can register, that they are registered, all of that. We're going to reach on Saturday, and we're going to have thousands and thousands of people canvassing and registering voters all over the country. We're going to preach on Sunday, and we have hundreds and hundreds of churches that are going to have their congregations check their voter registration status during the service. And folks, you don't have to just be a member of our group that's putting on Good Trouble Lives On. You can do this in your church and tell your pastor to do the same thing. Tell her, tell him, tell them to definitely on Sunday have every congregation member check their status. We're interfaith, so if you have a service on Friday or Saturday, do it then. Folks, we want everyone to check their status because a whole lot of people think they're registered to vote and they've been voting, but they're not on the rolls. They've been purging people like crazy. It's the undertold story of this era. The other thing is that we want the churches to tell people to go ahead and register, because you can register online. We're going to have the Rock the Vote tool for people to be able to register online available. We're going to have the election protection hotline open that Friday, Saturday for anybody with a problem who, don't know what their rights are. I just moved, I'm unhoused, I'm a formerly incarcerated person. What is my right to vote? I mean, all of this, we want to make sure that people are protected, that every person who can register is registered, and every person who can vote can vote. We know our president, we heard this, y'all, we heard it during the break, that he's about to have a press conference where he's going to get up and tell a lot of lies about voter fraud. And he's going to claim that he needs all this authority to stop, mail-in voting and all this other authority that he does not need, does not deserve. People, please, please be part of John Lewis Good Trouble Lives On, because if we don't fight for our democracy, it'll be gone. These anti-democracy forces are no joke, and they're out there. If you want to support the work of the Transformative Justice Coalition with a donation, you go to tjcoalition.org. If you want to get involved in Good Trouble Lives On, you can go to goodtroubleliveson.org. You can partner. You can host an event. You have until Wednesday at midnight to sign up to host an event. You can also find out where to attend an event. And on Saturday, we're going to be in Atlanta, me and a whole lot of other folks, including some great Congress people like Jonathan Jackson.
Amen. Amen.
Are going to be in good old Atlanta at Big Bethel Church, having a major rally. We welcome everybody to come and attend and be with us for this really beautiful rally that we're going to have with all kinds of great inspiring messaging, but also we're going to have some beautiful entertainment, other things. We hope that you'll come. And we want everybody to be part of Good Trouble liveson.org. And we got a national broadcast, so you can watch it. If you're one of the folks who have been calling us and saying, I am immobile or I can't go out, I know that I can't do anything on Saturday, I'm babysitting, whatever, folks, you can watch it. You can watch the national broadcast from 10 o'clock Eastern all the way until we end at 1:30 Eastern, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. Please join us. Please be part of Good Trouble liveson.org.
This coming Saturday, I'd love to be there. Barbara, I'm in Atlanta right now. I'm in Atlanta this week.
No, you're not.
I certainly am. But this coming Saturday, the 39th Annual Freedom Fund Banquet at Gateway Convention Center in Richburg, South Carolina, I will be the guest speaker on July 18th for the 39th Annual Freedom Fund Banquet. But I want those of you who can hear my voice to go to tjcoalition.org and give something. $50, $100, $1,000. Support Barbara Arnwine's work. We can sit back and complain about what's going on in the country and how we ain't organized, but week after week after week, Barbara Arnwine comes right here to KBLA Talk 1580, wherever you are in the country. You ought to go to that website and be supportive of her work because she is our boots on the ground. She is really boots on the ground and making it happen for us. And when you make that contribution and you get that canceled check back, it says that you were present at this moment in American history, that you might not have been able to do something while you were stuck in traffic on the 110, the 118, the 10, the 5, the 101, or the 405. But Barbara Arnwine was your ambassador. She was your representative in the case and the causes for justice around our country. Good Trouble this coming weekend at thousands of locations. Go to the website that Barbara outlined for us and do everything that you can to be supportive. We are raising hell and we are going to win this fight. My father often said, we have never lost a fight that we got in. Yes, and we almost always lost fights we never decided to fight. So that's one of my dad's great quotes. Barbara, we have about 2.5 minutes. Your word of hope.
Everybody, John Lewis taught us to get into good trouble. He taught us that what he said, never give up, never give in. That was one of his famous statements. He also said, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Folks, the reality is that it's our time, that we can make a difference. I'm happy for all the young Black people that we're able to raise up strong and who are aware and conscious of how to protect themselves. I'm proud of the families who stand in the gap and demand justice. I'm proud of Tyler Perry and everybody who went into their pockets and gave money to make sure that the Wells family had justice here. Proud. Folks, be the difference maker. Be the person who folks will say they changed my life, they made it better. You are that person. This is our moment. You're called into this moment. Let's do this. Let's make good trouble.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You've been listening to none other than Barbara Arnwine, the president and founder of the Transformative Justice Coalition, she's a facilitator of the National Commission on Voter Justice and Millennial Votes Matters convenings and Voting Rights Alliance, and she is the chief organizers of Good Trouble. This coming weekend, there'll be thousands of events taking place around voter registration, voter participation, and voter education. We owe it to ourselves to be supportive of her work at this critical hour in the nation's history and in the history of our democracy. More on KBLA. Barbara, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. More when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580. I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.